So now we're going to be chatting with Maria, who joins us bright and early, Sydney time, Australia. Hello.
Hi, Kate. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
How are you this morning?
Bright and chirpy.
Bright and chirpy, indeed.
Sorry. I know you've been going all day and making Zen organized. You have so much energy, Kate.
Mm-hmm. I have multiple cups of tea. That's what I can think.
Good. Yeah, grab a cup of tea and relax with us. Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. We've got people checking in from all over the world, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Isabel saying hello from Argentina, which is lovely, and lots of
Hola.
people. Hola, indeed. That's about as far as my Spanish. Oh, I can speak a little bit more, but it's
In Greek, it's yassas, which is hello, everyone.
oh yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was thinking if yasas is hello everyone, how do you say? So that's obviously hello plural. How do you say hello singularly?
Okay, so singular, you say yasu, but what you do is when you speak to people, you do the plural because then you're embracing everybody.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's lovely. That's much nicer than you guys.
Or yeah, or as who is it? Jeff Fennick, use,
Yeah, use guys.
use.
So we
Yeah,
can yesas instead.
yes, yeah,
Yesas.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Hello, everybody from every part of the globe that's joining in today.
Exactly.
Well, we've been having a wonderful time, Maria, and I know you joined in part of the conversation that we were having a moment ago with Ali, and she was joining us in Switzerland, which is pretty cool. So, how
Yeah,
cool is this technology that we can just literally jump in and jump out to different parts of the world as and when?
as and when, and I use World Time Buddy so that if I have to meet up with someone, I know that it's either a time that I'm awake or a time that I have to get up really early or just stay. Like I've met people at 3 in the morning Sydney time, and I actually had to present at 1 a.m. Sydney time. They recorded it. I have the recording.
That's
Sorry.
I'm seriously impressed.
Mhm.
I don't know how you do that. I when I travelled back to Australia recently this year, I had to do a 1 o'clock Australia time in the
Yep.
morning,
hmm
join in Zoom conversation. My brain did not work.
hmm
I was there, but my brain wasn't. So I'm incredibly impressed that you're present and coherent.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's,
Uh, Look, I really appreciate the fact that I've been included in the Making Zen online retreat again,
yes.
amongst 20 textile artists from all over the world.
Mm.
And I've been able to speak to you quite a few times. And this time around, Aggie Lee, who's coming up next,
Yes.
Sarah Pedlow, who lives in Amsterdam and does um, cultural embroidery tours in
Do you,
Portugal. And sorry, what did you say?
I was going to say Eastern Europe, but Portugal's.
Yes,
Yeah.
as well as Eastern Europe, and Ruth Ward
Wood.
Wood. Sorry, Ruth Wood. Craft School Oz.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard your conversation this morning with Ruth on your podcast, which was lovely.
She's what she was doing, where she was traveling north. So she lives in Melbourne. She travels all the. She used to spend 3 months traveling from Melbourne to North Queensland, running workshops, basket weaving, textile reuse
Mm.
for 3 months to get out of the cold in Melbourne. And now she does that all online on videos. But yeah,
Yeah.
credit to her. Yeah.
Oh, totally. I thought that was a wonderful idea. I mean, great incentive to get out of the cold and go north to the warmer weather for those in the southern climates. And share the textile love, like the fact that she was going to these small communities that might not have these opportunities. Just
Yep.
fab. And that she's teaching textiles in a sustainable way, like reusing and reconsidering what you have. So it's yeah, it's I could imagine it would be very enriching for both her and her participants to be doing.
Mm. And I can understand why the small towns would get so excited having her come and teach.
Yeah.
We went to Trundle, which is a very small town near Park. So we're talking rural New South Wales.
Mm,
And I think it had one main street, which was really large, and probably three shops. And mm, yes.
yeah,
Oh, look, there must have been more, but it was really, really quiet. There was no traffic. You
yeah.
could have had a party on the street. But the other thing with Trundle is they have the ABBA Festival there once a year, I think in March. So everyone converges on Trundle and celebrates ABBA for the weekend.
So it's
Mm.
literally on the map then in that case.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But again, going back to my point why I brought Trundle up was I can imagine that if you were to run a workshop in a very small town, they would just be so excited and they would just embrace
Mm,
having people there like Ruth who
mm,
are running workshops using the resources that they have on their farms. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
True. Yeah, that's very true. And I guess this is a bit of a sneak preview for everybody who hasn't yet bought the All Access Pass, um,
Mm,
because Ruth is sharing with us how to make baskets using what you have at home or what you have on the farm or what you can find lying around, which is just great. And her whole philosophy of using what you have and being mindful of when you
mm.
as well. Like it's all they're great things to think about. It was a good conversation listening to you guys.
Thanks. Yeah, we did our best.
And I notice you're wearing a very beautiful lace garment yourself today.
Yeah, yep, yep. And the reason I'm wearing this lace jacket is because I um, got started this year. My thing was lace, trying to use lace in different ways. And so when you started to get everyone together for Making Zen online retreat, I thought, okay, what can I contribute this time?
Mm,
So um, last time was the coffee bean sack, so it was reusing jute
yes.
and the same pattern as this jacket. Um,
Oh.
mhm,
Ah.
mhm.
Mm,
So the lace is a corded lace, and the orangey sort of under layer is something that I just had in my stash. And then I didn't have enough, so I've got some leftover denim for the facing.
mm,
And on the inside, I've done the sort of lining, the inside lining with a really bright floral. And again, this was from my stash. Um, so what I wanted to do this time around was I didn't want to I didn't want people to think, oh, reusing lace in something this huge when you've never constructed a garment before. So that's why I decided to take the leftover lace and do it as a eye mask.
yes. That's
So yeah, so
yeah.
that's my presentation is all the basics that I used to make this jacket I've presented in the workshop for just making a really simple eye mask using lots of leftovers, so that's leftover lining. Using a backing, I've used white on this one, but on this one I used the same sort of pink as the jacket.
Mm,
And then I threw in a bit of a challenge for putting the picot elastic along the edge. So it's almost like eyebrows. I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, but that was my quirkiness
I
in creating it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and that is a bit of a challenge adding that as well as the different layers of fabric that you're working with there.
Yeah.
Going back to when you say you've been spending the year working with lace, is is there a reason why you decided to do that?
I like the challenge of the various types of lace. So in the workshop, I talk about the types of lace that you can come across. And I even included mesh, so knit fabrics that have got stretch, etc.
Mm.
Um, so I've included that in the list of lace. If you're a purist, you might not think that it is, but anyway, it's got lace-like properties. But a couple of years ago, I went to a workshop on working with capure lace. And so one of the pieces that you'll see in the presentation is this dress where I've used capure lace, and the lining is a silk. Um, and what
Mm.
people will see is the gorgeous green of the capure, but you can see that because it's got a dark blue or royal blue silk line underlayer.
Mm-hmm.
So the underlayer part of this exercise of the eye mask can be used for something as amazing as that, which is capure lace, silk, etc., or
Mm.
something as fun, as the jacket. I'm trying not to hit the microphone too much.
And I really love that because when you're working with the lace, you really do need to think about not only the lace layer itself, but how it's interacting with the fabric underneath it as well, and how
Yep,
that is going to change the color and how your eyes, how it kind of, because your eyes will make it look different a little bit too, won't it? The way with the color combination.
yep.
So that beautiful green lace dress that you were showing us, why or how did you reach the conclusion to put that blue behind it?
It was a decision that I made at the shop. So I bought it from Selective Fine Fabrics in Brisbane, and I was visiting there with a friend's husband. So Susan Cowsey, she's the one who was running the lace workshop,
Mm,
and her husband was with her. And I said, "Come on, come with me." And he's fully into fabric, right?
that's awesome.
Um, but it's at Selective, they have all of these capures, and they have all of the silks, sort of charmeusy sort of underlays. They have everything for doing this type of work.
Mm,
So we just it was, I think, Louise and Anna, they put everything out. I liked the green. We got all the various colors out and laid it on top. And I think it took us about an hour,
mm,
because I think what people who do the workshop will realize is that when you place it on a few different backings, you'll get a different outcome, and then it's personal preference.
mm.
So yeah, that's how the decision was made. Was, under, say, a white, that green could have come out to be not as rich. It might have taken away from the green. The black might have, again, altered that greenness. And the green is what I wanted to be I suppose, the focal point. The
Mm,
blue underneath it is amazing, but it doesn't detract in the way that the other colors were detracting from it.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
And then when you choose a capure lace or any type of lace, you need to look at what are the elements in it. So in here you've got, you know, a flower there, you've got sort of a swirl, you've got some leaves, and then you look at when it repeats as well on the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I didn't want for this workshop, I didn't want people to be detracted from the amount of work it takes for, that's the what do you call, the zipper. And so what you've then got to do is try and make sure that so that's the zipper here, and
Wow.
then you've got to do the layer over the top and
Yeah.
then have a snap. So there's a whole series of these things on the center, where the zipper is. And I thought, I don't think 20 minutes you're really going to want to have that. at the Making Zen online retreat. So I thought, let's just start with.
Take it a step back. But that's really interesting because I haven't done much sewing with lace. And I didn't even think that you would. I mean, it makes sense when you show having to hide the zipper and you make it kind of blend in with the lace. So there's a lot more design steps that you have to think through when working with lace in a garment like that.
Yep.
Mm,
So it's not a quick project,
mm,
whereas this is a quick project. And what this project gives you is the confidence that, yes, this is a fabric, lace is a fabric that I can now think through as to how I'm going to use it, and I can reuse it somewhere, um, and I can apply any underlayer that I want to get a different outcome.
mm.
And as I said, this is lining from some jackets, and it's got like a paisley on it, but
Lovely.
it, it feels soft. So as an eye mask, you want to have whatever's against your face to feel soft and luxurious. So
Mm,
that little bit of leftover lining um, plays its role in this really simple eye mask.
yes.
Really simple, yeah.
Lovely. And I really like how you given, like it all ties together, even though you're saying they're like offcuts and bits and pieces that you've put
Right.
together. So that you've got the blue on the front of the lace, and then
Yeah.
you've got your eyebrows, the picot.
Yes. Sorry.
I totally love it. I think it's great. And then on the reverse side, you've got the black with the blue paisley print in it. So it's quite considered how you've chosen your fabrics to put together for the eye mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Thanks. Yeah. So
yeah.
it's a really simple project, but and so in the workshop, I provide the steps and the free pattern from Sakotime Pattern. So thank you to Vero for that.
Yeah.
All the participants will get that. Um, and it comes, oh yeah, the pattern. There is this classic style. There is a Batman style, if you can imagine that. And then there is a kitten style, which has got like the kitten ears. Anyway,
Oh, it's
uh,
totally cool. Um, if you haven't already downloaded this and followed along with Maria's workshop, I highly recommend it because it's the kind of pattern which is fabulous for practicing working with the lace. It's also because once you get the hang of it, you
yeah,
can um, make them for Christmas presents.
exactly.
Yeah,
And it's not, I mean, an eye mask anyone can wear,
that's true too.
and you don't have to worry about what size a person is. All you need to figure out is what's the character of the person that you're going to be giving this present to. And so the eye mask is really good for when you just want to, take 20 minutes out of your day, have a sort of what we call a power nap.
Mm,
And, if you can't screen out the sunlight, at least you can do it by wearing the mask, or when you're traveling,
yeah,
because we can travel these days.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you enjoy your Australia visit?
I did. Indeed. And Amy Maracle, who's another of the workshop presenters, is saying it's super fun. What a great gift. And I totally agree. I had to make one. So full disclosure, it wasn't with lace. I don't have any lace lying around, but I did have some pajama fabric. So I made the cat
Oh,
out of this cat pajama fabric, which was super fun. I gave it away as a present, but yes, I highly recommend that everybody do it if well, when you have a moment. And yes, I did enjoy my trip to Australia. I'm thinking it's about time to line up another one
good.
come in the near future.
Yep. But going back to your point of using the opportunity of developing your skills through making Zen and using that for Christmas gifts, that's quite unique, and those
Mm.
gifts will be very heartfelt.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. And there are also gifts that keep on giving, you know, because if you're the one who's making them, there's a gift to yourself, the gift of time and the gift of creativity, the gift of Zen, if you enjoy, if your sewing machine is working for you, all that kind of stuff.
Mm,
I
true.
sometimes find my sewing machine is not Zen. Uh, but then you've also got this gift that you can give to others as well. So it really is, it kind of has this flow on effect that you can keep sharing the love. And then what's really nice about the gift once you've given it is people always think of you when they use these gifts. So it's quite a lovely experience.
Yeah, it is a good experience. And the other thing with this really simple project is if you don't have a sewing machine, you can hand stitch it because it's only, you
Yeah,
know, a bit of stitching. So
yeah,
if your sewing machine is not Zen, there's always the needle and thread. And that was the other reason I picked that project is I didn't want participants to think that they have to own a sewing machine if they don't have one.
mm,
A lot of the practices that we get from the various textile artists in making Zen involves hand stitching. So I thought this was an easy hand stitching, a fun project that has all of the bells and whistles that you can then give to people and, give them your creativity.
yeah, exactly. And that's really nice. I like that you've considered that so that the project's small enough that it's accessible. Anybody can do it so long as you've got a needle and thread and a bit of
Yeah,
fabric lying
yeah,
around. Yeah, yeah. And so much fun. I mean, who
yeah,
doesn't want an eye mask?
yeah. In three different varieties, three
Yeah.
different styles.
And I mean, once you think about it, the possibilities are endless too. Like you could put some lavender in it or something like
Yeah,
that. Has a beautiful fragrance and relaxing too. So you
yeah.
really kind of use it as a starting point for a whole lot of exploration and different things that you can do too.
And getting inspiration for how to use lace, I found you can either do that online or what people will see in the workshop is through paintings in the past. So in the 1800s, how lace was used at the time. So then
Mm,
you can look at, if you feel confident with the skill of using lace, then you can apply it to various other things that you're going to do, whether it's garment making or making bags or shoes or hats.
mm, mm.
Lots of different ways to use it.
Yes, and that's another lovely thing about your workshop is you've used some reference of some of the historical paintings and how how lace has been portrayed through the ages, so that you can make references to and see how they've been involved, and even just how lace is associated these days versus how it would have been perceived back
Yep.
100 years.
Yep. That's right. You couldn't have worn lace if you were below a certain part of society in the 1800s. It was forbidden. So that's why we see lace being used in portraits of people who have a lot of money, who are at the top of society. Whereas now we can use it on anything we want.
Yes.
There's no, yeah, sorry.
No, that's totally fine. That's really interesting though. So it was actually forbidden. I thought it might have been like a financial constraint that because lace was all handmade and so that there was that financial value, but there was also hierarchical rule.
There was, and the people who made the lace were told how how they could make it. So that's why I referred to Jo Andrews. She's got a podcast called Haptic and Hue,
Yes.
and she's got her episode. I think it was in July about lace. So that's if you want more information about lace, that's one of the really interesting podcasts that puts a lot of research. Jo puts a lot of research into every podcast, so it'll be from historical through to how it's used now, and she talks to artisans. So
Mm,
they're very interesting. So yeah, I only touched on certain pieces in that 20 minutes that I had,
mm.
but the references are there for people who go to the workshop.
Ah, Oh, okay. That's fabulous.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to have to look into it because I find lace making is just so fascinating, and the history of it and the different ways that lace can be made, from like working with the bobbins and then the crochet and all the different variations. Thinking back to my art history training and some of the paintings that you were showing, what's really interesting is quite often more attention is spent on the detail of the lace and the garments than would actually be put on the face.
Yeah.
Mm. Simply because the portraits wished to be acknowledged as people who could afford to wear lace, and so they wanted to pay their painters to portray those areas, which I thought was totally fascinating.
Mm.
Yeah.
That makes sense now, because the portraits that I've included in the workshop, you can see the detail of the lace so clearly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I've learnt something now.
Yeah, it's totally fascinating, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, my face, whatever, but make sure you get the lace.
Yes.
I'm just kind of imagining that in modern day, kind of qualities, and you've got like two pencil marks for the eyes and a smiling mouth kind of thing, and then this like very beautifully drawn lace. So, yeah, quite fascinating, very fascinating indeed. Oh, Maria, it's lovely that you could join us this morning. I really do appreciate you taking the time and for sharing all your skills and knowledge that you've acquired to work with something that can be quite prohibitive if you've never experienced working with lace before. Just the idea of it can be enough to put that in the too hard basket. So thank you so much for your time this morning and for being part of Making Zen and being a wonderful sponsor for the Making Zen online retreat too through your podcast.
Oh, look, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for being for allowing me to help with promoting Making Zen, because it's been great to speak directly to the textile artists, and also this time around, not only just doing the podcast audio, but also then creating the YouTube channel. So we've got that there as well.
Yes.
So this time around has been a skill development for me, but I always love talking to the textile artists. So thank you so much, Kate.
Oh my goodness, it's an absolute pleasure. And I agree, it's so lovely to connect with all these artists and just hear about their story and get to know everyone on a personal level as well. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Thanks, Kate.
And I can say the same to you. It's like mutual fan club.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our next chat. And for people who haven't yet checked out Maria's workshop, check it out, makingzen.com. It's on today for a little less than 24 hours. And then if you're wanting to have lifetime access, then there's also the all access pass that you can sign up for too.
Mm.
And happy stitching, everyone.
Yep. Happy stitching and great to see everyone. Thank you for joining us.
And check out Velo Sews. That's Maria's handle. And the So Organised Style podcast. Two very worthwhile things to check out.
Thank you so much. And also Zen Stitching.
Oh, yeah, that too. But
Thanks, Kate.
see you. Bye
Bye. Bye, everyone.
bye.